lot of property that we've been on for 200 years, like Larry's family. And we have a church and a graveyard. And going to his property and seeing it surrounded by this decimated landscape that fuels, my life in Ohio right now. That's where our energy comes from. It's really moving because my family has a church and a graveyard. And if you go to his property, actually, they're illegally mining under his property. He has no rights, and they're going under his property without asking him. And so the graves, his family's graves, are sunken in because of the erosion in the cracked soil. And I actually really encourage anyone who even considers clean coal to go and witness this for themselves, because it is a decimated landscape, and this is our country, and many people are proud of our land, and I'm proud of our land, and I'm proud of my family's land. And to take that from someone else is really it's not something that I stand for, and it's not something that I want our country to stand for. So I think that's something that everyone should consider before supporting clean coal, because the source of the coal is not clean, no matter what you do to it afterwards.
Definitely, there's no such thing as clean coal. It's definitely a myth.
Yeah, and what I've heard a lot is, it's all this research, but we already have solar, we already have wind power, and no research, and it's not a future thing. It's here, it's now. And I know that there are a lot of lobbyist groups right now, like a very powerful lobbyist group for clean coal. And it would be nice to know that we have support in the Senate and in the Congress from our representatives.
Yeah, we're definitely working on alternative fuels. I think what everyone has to recognize is that coal is an important part of Ohio and Ohio's economy and the way that electricity works. But what we're trying to do is urge companies to really start to develop alternative ways to alternative sources for electricity. And it's not going to be something that we're just going to be able to snap our fingers and coal is going to be done in Ohio. But we're working on with companies to transition them away from coal and get them more, especially where a lot of the coal-fired plants are, hydro is a really good substitute for the coal, and that's sort of something that we're trying to transition these companies into doing. But again, it's just going to take a lot of, it's gradual, it's going to take a lot of support, and a lot of people really urging them to move away from coal, which I think is something that, we're all working on. So I can tell you that, we are definitely committed to developing alternative energy sources in Ohio and getting away from coal. But I think in a lot of other states where it's going to be easier to get away from coal than it is in Ohio, because it is still really an entrenched part of our economy. So just going to take some time on that one.
Yeah.
There's also an environmental justice bill that's going through. It's a state bill, so it doesn't have a lot to do with Mary Jo Kilroy, but it's implementing different task force and advocates around the state of Ohio to help communities that are being oppressed by dirty energy and chemical companies, to help them be regulated more, so they're not creating huge health problems with soil erosion and polluting the air and the water. So I have a sheet on it, but I just wanted to present it to Mary Jo Kilroy, since she is a very important part of Ohio.
Yeah, I can definitely pass it along to her. Something here.
Yeah, I think this is the wrong one, but it's okay.
Okay.
This is the bill for a town hall meeting
Oh, okay.
that we're having.
Okay. Do you know what the bill is called?
No, it doesn't have a number on it yet. It's in the, it's being edited by a committee. I forget what the committee's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Silence, majority.